Why are live broadcasts from space so often interrupted? Strange phenomena and sudden cutoffs from space cameras frequently fuel intense speculation. In one striking incident, a massive object appeared to be approaching Earth only for the screen to suddenly go gray. Minutes later, the feed resumed as if nothing had happened. There's rarely a clear explanation for these blackouts. What's really going on during those moments when gigantic structures show up in space or when strange lights are seen near the International Space Station? For years, there have been repeated reports of mysterious shutdowns of live feeds from the ISS, various space missions, and even Mars rovers. Official statements usually blame technical glitches, maintenance, or signal issues. But as these events keep happening, more and more people are beginning to wonder if there's something being kept from the public. Some of the most talked about interruptions seem to coincide with sightings of unidentified flying objects or unknown structures moving at high speeds. These strange forms, sometimes mere lights or shadows, often appear near the ISS and vanish shortly after, sometimes just before the feed cuts out. Even astronauts have noticed. In 2020, Russian cosmonaut Ivan Wagner captured time-lapse footage showing unusual lights that appeared for about 52 seconds. Wagner suspected they were non-terrestrial flying objects and urged his government to make a public statement. In 2023, another startling event occurred when an unidentifiable object sped toward a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. Although the object missed, the incident left a lasting impact. Situations like these raise pressing questions. Are these really just technical faults? Or is there something deliberately hidden from the public eye? The fascination with unidentified aerial phenomena isn't new, but only recently has the scientific and political response to such reports started to shift. For decades, people who claimed to see UFOs were dismissed or mocked. Alleged alien abductions were written off as fantasy, and sightings of glowing discs were explained away as illusions. Today, however, the narrative is changing. Numerous U.S. military personnel, including fighter pilots, have come forward with credible UFO sightings. Modern aircraft equipped with high-resolution cameras have captured unusual objects on video, spinning discs, flying eggs, and high-speed objects performing maneuvers no known technology could replicate. One even vanished into the ocean without disturbing the surface. A famous 2004 incident involved a tic-tac-shaped object that accelerated and moved in ways that defied all known propulsion methods. The pilots described it as smooth, windowless, and completely white. These and similar encounters pushed the U.S. government to redefine these events as UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena, and to investigate them. Yet, many investigations were said to be superficial. Over 1,000 reports were recorded, assigned case numbers and probabilities, and then mostly marked unexplainable. This frustrated not only eyewitnesses, but also some military and intelligence insiders. David Grush, a former government employee assigned to investigate UAPs, later claimed his role was purely performative. Whenever he arrived to examine a UFO case, other intelligence operatives had allegedly already removed any physical evidence. He was also told, unofficially, that the U.S. had been retrieving and analyzing alien spacecraft and even their alleged occupants for decades. While a congressional hearing was held on the topic, little came of it. Military officials questioned pilot testimonies and dismissed sightings as illusions. Grush himself was publicly discredited, portrayed as mentally unstable and vengeful, which further fueled suspicions of a cover-up. Why do these live camera feeds from space keep going dark at critical moments? Viewers of live streams from the ISS or space missions have repeatedly noticed strange patterns. The screen turns gray, a flicker of strange shapes or lights appears, then the image resumes as though nothing unusual happened. On Mars, camera feeds seem to fail right when oddly shaped objects enter the frame. SpaceX missions, too, have experienced momentary camera shutdowns when something peculiar showed up near a spacecraft. Are these disruptions truly the result of maintenance or automatic system faults? Or is there something more deliberate behind them? Several theories suggest deliberate concealment. Amateur observers have captured still images and video fragments showing unusual lights or objects seconds before live feeds cut out. The region around the ISS seems particularly prone to strange activity, unknown objects flying in defiance of known physics, or simply disappearing mid-flight. One striking event involved a group of 10 dark objects seen near the ISS. They were visible briefly before the feed abruptly ended. Similar mysteries surround SpaceX flights. During one Crew Dragon mission, astronauts were warned about an incoming unknown object. With no time to maneuver, they donned their suits and braced for impact. Fortunately, the object missed, but its identity remained unknown. Mars rovers like Perseverance and Curiosity have also recorded curious images, strange structures, moving shapes, and a rectangular doorway embedded in a rock formation. NASA later attributed this to pareidolia, our brain's tendency to see familiar patterns where none exist. They stated it was simply a rock, and alternative angle photos supported that explanation. Yet other incidents remain open to interpretation, and feed suspicions that not everything is being disclosed. What might happen during the Artemis missions to the moon? The Artemis program plans to establish the first real infrastructure, the moon, in the coming years. First, astronauts and scientists will arrive, followed later by permanent settlers. But strange reports surrounding the moon aren't new. For centuries, astronomers have observed unexplained lights, called transient lunar phenomena, that appear and disappear without warning. These were even noted by Galileo. Some researchers believe gas emissions or reflected sunlight are responsible. Others speculate about artificial activity or extraterrestrial presence. Amateur astronomers and even some past NASA missions have documented unusual events on the moon. With Artemis 3, astronauts will land near the lunar South Pole, a largely unexplored area. They'll search for water and valuable resources. Yet some believe they could face unexpected challenges, possibly involving alien contact. Are reports of alien spacecraft on the moon's far side credible? Could it be true that astronauts like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin encountered unusual phenomena during their historic mission? Whistleblowers such as Maurice Chatelain, Bob Lazar, and Donna Hare have suggested that alien-related activities have taken place on or around the moon. Some even claim the moon landings or Artemis efforts are part of a larger cover-up. Could Earth itself be part of a kind of alien zoo? Government institutions and agencies like NASA have long maintained skeptical views toward extraterrestrials and UFOs. While officials admit many sightings are unexplained, they often reject any suggestion of alien involvement. But not everyone agrees. Some scientists entertain more open theories. One is the zoo hypothesis, proposed by figures like astronomer John Ball. It suggests advanced civilizations are watching us from a distance out of curiosity. Much like humans watch animals in a zoo, this might explain the lack of direct contact despite numerous sightings. According to the theory, extraterrestrials have attempted contact but withdrew when humans refused to meet certain conditions, such as global peace, disarmament, or shared planetary governance. Our unwillingness to achieve these goals marks us as primitive on the Kardashev scale, a system that ranks civilizations based on energy use. Humanity hasn't even reached Type 1, which means complete use of our planet's energy potential. Instead, we are fragmented, wasteful, and driven by conflict. Only if we begin to pursue unity and sustainable technologies might we earn the attention or respect of other intelligent species in the universe.